You know the drill. You're lying back in the chair, your mouth is cranked open, the overhead lights click on, and the orthodontist asks, "What color ties do you want today?" It feels like a fashion choice. You might pick neon green, navy blue for whiter teeth, or clear to hide the metal. But these pigments do more than change your aesthetic. The specific color you choose alters how the rubber behaves under mechanical stress in your mouth. These small bands are officially known as elastomeric ligatures. They are the primary components responsible for holding the archwire against your brackets to move your teeth. When you pick a color, you are selecting the mechanical properties of the material that will be pulling on your teeth for the next month. These bands are polyurethane. Adding dye physically changes the interlocking bonds of the plastic's molecular chains. It's like adding chocolate chips to pancake batter. Pigments can weaken the mixture, or reinforce it by thickening the links between the polymer chains. Boring industrial gray is the heavyweight champion of this world. It consistently demonstrates the highest initial tensile strength and the tightest grip on the bracket. Transparent or clear ties are the opposite. Without pigment molecules to reinforce the structure, these bands provide the lowest initial force of any color. They are functionally fragile, meaning that choosing an invisible look comes at the direct cost of initial mechanical power. Once the ties are stretched over your teeth, they enter a hostile environment. The mouth is warm, wet, and constantly moving, conditions that cause the rubber to immediately lose its tension. This environment triggers the 24-hour drop-off, a phenomenon affecting every color regardless of starting strength. Research shows every ligature loses half its pulling force within the first day. After that, deep pink and blue remain stable. Red and green are more erratic, losing and regaining tension inconsistently over the following weeks. On day 1, these bands are like bodybuilders lifting a heavy weight. By day 2, they've given up and are essentially just leaning against the bar. No matter how strong they start, these rubber bands perform the vast majority of their heavy mechanical work in the first 48 hours. With clear ties, you'll face cosmetic failure by day 3. A single meal with turmeric or coffee turns pristine transparent bands into stained neon yellow. These substances work alongside oral bacteria to chemically dissolve the polyurethane. Clear ties are particularly vulnerable because they lack the heavy pigment molecules that would otherwise act as a physical barrier. This lack of protection allows light and chemicals to break down the plastic's elasticity much faster. Deeply pigmented ties use their dye particles as tiny shields, blocking the chemical interference that causes the material to degrade. Because they lack these shields, clear ties don't just look worse, they lose their structural integrity and fail sooner than their darker rivals. This raises a practical concern. Will choosing a weak clear tie instead of a strong gray one actually extend the time you spend in braces? Clinical data suggests the answer is no. The difference in treatment speed between the various colors is negligible. The massive loss of tension in the first 24 hours acts as an equalizer. Since all colors give up most of their strength almost immediately, the initial advantage of gray, or the decay of clear, doesn't significantly impact the 4-week cycle. You can safely choose the clear ties or the neon green ones, provided you're willing to avoid the staining effects of foods like turmeric. Physics ensures the work gets done regardless of the palette. The best color for your braces is simply the one that makes you smile.